guys, it's Jenny here. Welcome to my channel and welcome back if you are a returning viewer or subscriber. For this week's video, I am sketching out my OCs from my web series in development called AMP in cool action poses. I started on this sketch a few weeks back when I left town to visit family and also to see Stray Kids live. As I mentioned in my last video, I wanted to start working on illustrations that maybe involved my AMP characters but weren't necessarily webtoon panels themselves. I would like to shift back to working on my panels, but I also want to make time to work on fun illustrations and also to participate in Art Fight, which I am doing for the first time ever this year. As you can see with the sketch, I am starting off working on details for Eli. I actually made some progress with Ix and Celine while I was back home visiting my family. I figured it'd be fun to capture the process, which will be lining, coloring, a little bit of rendering as well. I finished up Eli and now I am moving on to Akira. I think I have two more characters that I need to develop that will be fighting alongside Akira and part of his squad of S-Enchanters. But this sketch is just focusing primarily on the characters I have developed so far, which would be Ix, Celine obviously, Eli, Akira, and Nero, who I just finished working on his sheet pretty recently. Feel free to check out my last Making a Webtoon series episode if you'd like to see me complete Nero's character design sheet. I found these poses off of Pinterest. Some of the perspectives and angles were a little hard for me to come up with straight off my head, so I'm glad that I had some pretty cool references that I felt captured my character's personality. But as I think I've mentioned in previous videos, I do want to start working on poses that I'm taking straight from my visual library as opposed to relying on references. It can be a little hard, but it is definitely a good way to build up your confidence as an artist. And again, you save yourself a lot of time if you're not skimming for poses, because I think a lot of artists can relate to this, but sometimes you get a little bit of fatigue when you take 10, 15, maybe even 30 minutes to look for a pose to put your character in, that by the time you find one, you're kind of already worn out. Don't really have the drive to draw anymore, it's gone. So right now I am liquefying parts of Eli's hair. His face was a bit of a struggle for me at first, so I had to work off camera just so that I didn't spend so much time recording my process, which was a lot of adjusting and redrawing certain parts of his face. I copied his tattoos from his character design sheet and ported it to this piece, which saves me some time. Now I am adding in some hatching, cross-hatching to be exact, on my characters. I'm using a combination of cross-hatching and some cell shading. I think I'm getting a little bit more comfortable with how to hatch to fit the contours of body parts. Also, adding those cross hatches and creases is just, I don't know. It just looks so good. It's really satisfying to draw. I'm adding in my blocks of color now. It's really nice to already have their color palettes figured out. I'm really pleased with the way it came out, and I think I'm definitely building my confidence with coloring and rendering more. So, I'm just enjoying the process. I'm coloring my girl Celine right now. Of course, I have to give her her nail polish. So I'm adding in colors for the gold parts of her bow staff, and I am now moving on to Eli. Eli actually took, I think, the least amount of time to color out of all characters on this sheet, mainly because a good chunk of his face was covered, and also most of his left arm is as well. So it was mostly just his outfit and right arm that I kind of had to work on. I had to add in the colors for the Essen crystals. Again, pulling that from previous design sheets to save myself some time. And I'm adding in the colors right now for Akira's fingernails. Once I start adding in the main color of his top, that's when things just really start to come together and Akira is coming to life. Lastly, we have Nero. I am just erasing some of that excess skin color, adding in the main fill for his top. And now I'm working on his weapons, which are chakrams, and then in his hands, he's holding the throwing knives, which again, he can magnetize to the chakrams. Pretty cool stuff. Akira is the only person on this sheet that isn't sporting his weapon because I'm still trying to figure out what I want to settle on. I'm kind of stuck between giving him either like bladed tonfas, which I think are really cool, or a cool ass sword. Can't go wrong with that. Although Eli technically doesn't have his nunchucks on him while he's doing his cool action pose, he is a monk character, so his hands are also considered weapons too. I'm adding in the big chunks of cell shading right now on Celine. It saves me a lot of time if I can map out most of where the shadows are. I lay out the main color first, the cross-hatching, and then I'll go over it with the actual shading color, which in this instance I'm going to be using kind of like a darker purple, and then just like adjusting the blending modes. Lastly, of course, is Nero. I remember when I first started working on my character designs and I was just trying to figure out how my main characters, Celine and Akira, were going to look like to begin with. So seeing them and other side characters, supporting characters, come to life with their outfits, I got color palettes established for them. It's honestly kind of insane to see this project developing more and more. Like I said, I still have a couple more characters I have to develop, but it's nice to know that I have most of the ensemble, at least from Faction 7, figured out. Lastly, for the rendering process, I am adding in highlights. Well, actually second to last. As you can see, I am messing with the blending mode. One of my favorite touches of details for Celine is blurring out that shine on her lip gloss. Honestly, now that I think about it, most of my female characters wear pretty subtle makeup. It's not really practical in the field when you're fighting and having to sweat and move a lot. But you know, I mean, Ike's is sporting nail polish and she's got a little bit of matte lipstick going on, so it's okay to feel good about yourself while you're kicking ass. With the hair highlights, I am going in with a soft airbrush. I blend it out, and then if I have to, I will erase part of it using very light pressure, just so it doesn't look so heavy. It's meant to just shine, you know, it's not supposed to be a super prominent highlight, but I want to give it some dimension so it doesn't look too flat. Lastly, I am adding kind of like a rim light effect, just to give a little dimension to the rest of the body and the clothes, even though technically the pants aren't very shiny, nor is the top, but again, just want to give it a little bit of light. I know this video was significantly shorter than my last handful of uploads here on the channel, but I do hope you guys enjoyed watching this. I hope you were able to kick back, relax, maybe even draw with me, work on your webtoon series, which is really awesome when I see people saying that watching my series is a good way for them to feel productive, or it encourages you guys to work on your own original series. I think that's so epic, so I'm hoping you were able to get that from this video. Like always, I just want to say thank you to everyone who has subscribed to the channel and who has shown their support. Whether you just watch my videos quietly, because I do that with a lot of channels, or you comment, you like, you share my videos, thank you so much for supporting my journey here on YouTube. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed. I had a fun time working on this piece, and I will catch you guys again in my next video. Take care, y'all. Bye!